Shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that continually rule very well to this very day, that is continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And likewise, Shalom to the hopefully elect, and much due honors to you sincere brothers that are continually plowing this work and are continually pushing forth towards salvation out of this captivity in all faith, in truth and sincerity, and all charity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled, Why Obadiah is the least popular book in the Bible. And I made sure in that title, through the spirit, but that is that's a great question, and that's really no one has asked this question, but I was just pondering on the book of Obadiah, and the reason why it's brought out so much amongst the camps that I set up throughout here in America, which is Babylon the Great in the Bible, and really amongst the Israelite camps, all right, especially Great Millstone. Okay. But when it comes to the rest of the people that tune in, they rarely hear, outside of the camps, they rarely hear about the book of Obadiah. Whenever they go to the church sermons or any religious gathering, so to speak, they don't bring out the book of Obadiah. Okay. And really the reason why Obadiah is not brought out so much, because it exposes Esau on the most highest level conceivable, man. Okay. Because when you go into the book of Obadiah, that whole chapter, and really is a chapter long, it only has one chapter. That whole chapter is dedicated to the judgment of Edom. Okay. Because Edom, if you go into the Merriam-Webster, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, which Vocab Malone is a huge proponent of Zondervan. If you go into his dictionary, it speaks about Edom. All right, I don't have it queued up right now, but it goes into Edom and the Edomites. Okay, and it explains that the Edomites are a people that are set up for great future judgment. Okay, and again, that's the reason why the book of Obadiah is written, because Obadiah tells you the judgment of the nation of Edom. Okay. And that's another reason why I have this this still, or this picture that I have posted here in the beginning of the video. This is, in case you don't know, this is the former president of Egypt, back when they started warring with Israel. All right, the state of Israel. Okay, and he made a statement, and is well documented, that the original Jews that were there in that land, he knew that they were men of color. All right, they were considered so-called black or melanated people. Okay, and he said that they left from that land as so-called black, and now they're in that land as white. Okay. And again, that was during the war with the state of Israel. Okay. So now you have to question, who are those people that are there in that land? Okay. Because it's a fact that the original Jews, all right, the original Jews are melanated people, so-called there will be so-called black people, dark-skinned people. Okay, and if you go through the history, you know, the ones that inherited, or the ones that I don't want to say inherited, but the ones who obtained that land, it's out of the sect of Edom, which are Amalekites. Okay, so that's why that statement was made. And since they're there, all right, and not only Amalek but other sects of the nation of Edom, like Teman. Let's see who else. There's other sects of Edom that are not that, you know, really, you know, we'll go into it from time to time, but you know, there's other I won't say other tribes, but there's other sects of Edomites that are also set up for judgment. You know, even though they might go by other identities like Russians or Germans or Italians, you know, anything of that nature. You know, if their line go back to Edom, and the reason why I'm saying if their line go back to Edom is because you even have Israelites that are scattered amongst those different lands. All right, in Russia, in Germany, in Italy, especially in Italy, man. All right, because you had there was a time when Israel was primarily in that region, but the Edomites that go by those different identities, guess what? They still going to face the same judgment, all right? Because what they like to do, especially here in America, they like to blame everything on the so-called Jews, okay? But you're still the same people. You're still the same nation of people. You're still of that wicked root, and you're all going to be destroyed, okay? Thus saith the Bible, okay? So again, this is the reason why Obadiah is the least read book and the least known book in this time today, man. And if you read through it, right, Obadiah chapter 1, and this is that I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Ba'al Shai, and an ambassador, and sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's why I showed the picture of President Gamal Nasser. All right, because, you know, through the Spirit, you know, we believe that he was the ambassador that is sent among the heathen. All right, because he was, if I'm not mistaken, he's an Ishmaelite. Okay, that's when the Ishmaelites were. That was during the time when the Ishmaelites had taken possession of the land of Egypt. Okay, because you got Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs that are possessing that land today, and they're still there. Okay, and I believe this person was an Ishmaelite. Okay, he was. That's when during the time when they had the possession of the land, they still do. Okay, but that ambassador that the scripture is talking about, that's talking about him. Okay, and not only that, also through the Spirit, you know, the devil's being exposed, man. And the heathen are calling out these devils for who they really are. Okay. Verse 2, it said, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right, and that's why these other nations are starting to despise Edom. Okay, they're starting to despise the so-called white man, because they realize his wickedness, man. And they realize his deception that he has spread throughout the planet Earth. And they're calling them out for it, man. All right, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites. All right, even Moab. All right, even Moab looks at this man as a treacherous man. Okay. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Verse 6, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And that's right, man. The things of Esau are searched out, and they're sought up. Okay, because it was a time to where it was no longer, it was a mystery of who the Edomites were. All right, see, now today we know who they are, and guys like Vocab can't accept that. They can't accept the fact that the so-called white man are the Edomites. Okay, and that's all right. He doesn't have to believe, man. We're not looking for every single person on the planet Earth. We're looking for the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. Skip down a little bit more. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Let's see, let's get down just a little bit more. Right, I'm starting at verse 17. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, in the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Right, and Edom is going to be a possession amongst the children of Israel when the Israelites are set back in rulership once again. All right, in which the Israelites consist today primarily of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you got others that are scattered throughout these other lands, whose lines go back to Jacob. All right, their progenitor goes back to Jacob. Okay. Verse 18, it says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame. All right, that's the nation of Israel as a whole, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Okay. It says, in the house of Esau for stubble. What happens when you kindle a fire amongst coals? All right. After the fire has consumed the coals, it turns to ashes. It turns to stubble. Okay. So once we consume Edom or Esau, he's going to be nothing but stubble. Okay. And this is after he faces the judgment of slavery, because he has to go through that, man. All right. You know, the Most High would be a liar if he didn't go through the captivity, if he didn't go through the captivity that's laid up for him, man. All right. Because like the scriptures say, he that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. Okay. Reading on, it says, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai has spoken it. All right. So again, that's future prophecy. All right. See this, that verse right there alone, where it says, there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, shows you that they don't, the people that, the normal person that you see every day, man, they don't know about the book of Obadiah, because it speaks about the judgment of Edom, which is what? Destruction. All right. That's the reason why these churches don't even bother and go into the book of Obadiah. And if you ask them about the book of Obadiah, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, they won't know that there's even a book in the Bible. All right. They won't even know that that book existed unless you tell them. All right. So I'll move on from there. I'm going to grab the book of Psalms, chapter 137. And let me show you this. This is the book of Obadiah, when it says the house of Esau will be stubble, and there shall be nothing remaining of them. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137, and verse 7. It says, remember, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. All right. And race means to destroy or to bring down. Okay. And this was during the time when we were taken down and brought into captivity under the both the Assyrians and the Babylonians. Okay. Which mainly this is going back into the Babylonians, because the northern kingdom was already taken into captivity under the Assyrians. Okay. And then when the Babylonians came into power, that's when the majority of the southern kingdom primarily were taken into captivity. All right. And Esau was pointing us out, and that even goes into it in the book of Obadiah. All right. You know, I didn't read it, but it's in that chapter. Okay. Where it says, remember, O Lord, the day of Edom, in which in that day was talking about when we was taken into captivity under the Babylonians. Okay. Psalm chapter 137, verse 7 again, it says, remember, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. All right, and there you go. It says, and after this scripture went into the nation of Edom, it went right directly into Babylon. And it says the daughter of Babylon. Okay. That virgin daughter of Babylon. That virgin daughter of Babylon is talking about here in America. All right. Now it says, who are to be destroyed. So it should be destroyed. All right. In other words, Babylon is not destroyed yet. Okay. It says, happy shall they be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall they be that take it and dash it, thy little ones, against the stones. All right. Now this is, and they say, no, not the children. But yeah, the scripture's going into it, man. All right. Because here's the thing. Esau didn't spare the young or the old in the time that we went down. All right. That's why he used our children as gator bait, as a Negro Dodger, when it's having those little games at I want to say circus, but yeah, circus was a part of it too. But at the fairs, okay, at the fairs they would use our children as entertainment, man. And you telling me this man's not going to pay for that? You know, because Esau has to be written within the scriptures. All right. Another scripture that shows you that. Let's get Job chapter 9 verse 24, because the book of Malachi tells you that that Esau or Edom is known as the board of wickedness. Okay, so this is the reason why Job chapter 9 verse 24 is written, right? It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See? So the wicked has to be in rulership at the end of the days. All right? And that wicked is known as the nation of Edom. Okay? So again, this goes to show you that the reason why Obadiah is the least read book amongst the people, okay, the ones who believe in the Bible or say they believe in the Bible and they read it, you know, they barely even go into Obadiah, okay, which again is one chapter long, and it goes directly into Edom in their judgment. All right. So with that, I'm going to end off on that note. Lord's will, this was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. And until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash, and also double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that rule well to this day. And shalom, peace and safety, and salutations to the hopefully elect that's laboring as well in his work, giving your diligence to make your calling, your election sure, and faith and truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.